This for the podcast? Or we're already recording?
We indeed are.
When did we start?
Just now.
Okay,
it's been 5 seconds.
Here, I'll tell you this anyway. So,
okay.
I was playing a Lego game, and it was Lego City Undercover.
Mm-hmm.
And
a man has fallen into the river in Lego City, that one?
That was a meme.
Okay. Is it from that one, or is it just from like a Lego set commercial?
It's from like the commercials where it's like, yeah, I think just it's like someone's always in danger in Lego City, you know? And so it's like a man has fallen into the river in Lego City. Build the whatever, you know. Anyway, yeah, so I was shocked because they made a very inappropriate joke in this game that I was playing. And what happened? Basically, there's this one character you play as like a police officer. And then there's another police officer that like his whole character is that he's just really like kind of dumb and not the brightest. So he's like, I don't even know. I'm trying to think of like examples other than what I'm about to say, but his whole thing is that he's just really dumb. So there's a scene where both of the characters, like the main dude and then this dumb guy, they both get on horses, but he gets on his backwards and rides off. And then he calls you up and he's like, hey, he's like, there's something wrong with my horse. It doesn't have a head. And it's just kind of, you know, it's just kind of dumb. And like, and he's like, oh, and like, it only goes backwards or whatever. And then my guy is like, no, it's just, you jumped on it backwards and like, it's fine. Just turn around. Like, and he's like, oh, there it is. And it's like, you're just on it backwards. And then he goes, this is where it shocked me. He goes like, he's like, oh, that's why it was so mad when I fed it that apple earlier. And I was like, what the frick? I was like, I couldn't believe this isn't a game like for like children. Like I was like, yo, he just shoved an apple like just right up that horse's butt. Like, anyway, I thought that was very funny.
That is funny. When did this come out?
Back when it was originally a Wii U exclusive. So honestly, back in like,
what did you play on?
It eventually, like the Wii U wasn't very successful. And so it eventually, I think like a couple of years ago, came to like the other consoles as well. So I'm playing it on, I guess, PS4 yeah.
I remember, I did a project in school. When was this? Was this the 9th grade? Maybe, but...
Answer. Audience, tell her, was it the 9th grade?
Well, I'm trying to think. It had to be 9th grade English. I did like a writing project on how nobody liked the Wii U for like school, and I drew a picture accompanying it. I really don't know where that would be now, because I was not saving documents back then. So that's lost to time, but I did remember that.
Can you give us the gist of it? That's kind of funny.
I can't remember anything other than that.
What was the assignment?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Okay.
I just remember the picture that I drew was like a shelf and it had a lot of Wii U boxes on it. So. Yeah.
This is only somewhat related, but for some reason, when I was in like the 7th grade or something, our like English teacher was like, hey, let's start like a fake newspaper for like the school. And this is like a super small Christian school where it's like the 7th grade was like 20-30 people like total. And what is it? Yeah, she was like, let's start a newspaper or something. So we all like contributed different things. And I was like, oh, I want to do a game review for our like newspaper. And I did a review of I think Little Big Planet 2. And that was it. We never did a second issue. We did one issue of the newspaper and that was it. But
that sounded like fun.
It was kind of. I liked reviewing the game because it's a good game.
Yeah. Well, this is the 5th episode of the Not Just Arin podcast. I am Arin and you are?
Not Arin.
All right, great. We don't have a topic or a theme today, but both of us have a couple of things that, we wanted to chat about. But this is just a less structured episode. We're vibing today, essentially. So
tell us if we pass.
Okay. Well, they will have to, but I will also let you know.
No, they will tell us if they're vibe checking us.
And I'm also vibe checking you.
Why?
Because I can.
I don't appreciate this. I didn't know. I feel like the title now is like the episode where Arin vibe checks Joseph.
But anyway, I had an interesting time this morning. Honestly, it was closer to noon. I was trying to wash my clothes, right? And my building, what?
You practicing your stand-up?
No, I'm not practicing my stand-up.
Trying to wash my clothes, right? And like, my building, it just, like...
Okay, I get that it has that cadence, but that's not what I'm trying to do.
That's just how I read it.
Anyways, I was trying to wash my clothes this morning. I go downstairs and the building's like washer and dryer is like connected to this like online system. It's called the Laundry Boss. Basically, you use like an app, scan a QR code, pay for your laundry. That wasn't working this morning. And by the time I found that out, I was already like all my clothes were in the washer, including my sheets. So I had to scramble back upstairs to my coffee can of change to find some quarters. And I found enough to wash my clothes, right? But I would have to dry them at some point. So I was like, okay, this is a little annoying, but it's not the end of the world. I could just go to a laundromat because the laundromats always have coin machines. And so I go to this one up on the street here. You've probably never seen it. It's on, I'm gonna bleep this out, but it's called like Coin Laundry. I go up there and the sign on the door says, if you're not washing clothes, you can't use a coin machine. I'm like, oh my goodness. I really don't want to like drive around because I wasn't planning on trekking around the city today. So I go in there anyways. And then on the coin machine, there's another sign that says, if you're not washing clothes here, you can't use the coin machine. I'm like, okay, there's not a whole lot of people around. I can just maybe sneak my $4 in
who's going
to
stop you?
Well, the manager did.
Oh, really?
Yes. They're sitting behind the counter like, excuse me, ma'am. I'm like, yes. Did you bring any clothes in? And I said no. And she reiterated that I cannot use the coin machine if I'm not going to wash laundry there.
And is this the second laundromat you went to? Or
This is the first one.
Oh, okay. I thought you went to two and they both had a sign.
No. But what doesn't make sense to me is that the laundry room in my building doesn't have a coin machine. Because the laundry machines, they still accept quarters. It's just that majority of the people, they either use the kiosk or like me, I use the phone app. But like that's not good. That's not great. If you own an apartment building and it has a laundromat? Yeah, I guess a laundromat in it. Put a coin machine in there. Like,
Can't you
why?
just say a laundry room or something?
Laundry room, laundromat, same thing, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, so I'm like, okay, well, where am I supposed to get some quarters around here? And she tells me to go to the grocery store. And I go there. It's the one on the street. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So I go there expecting...
You want to, you can bleep it. Do you want to just name drop it?
I legit don't know the name of it. Because something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I go there expecting to find a coin machine, and there is an ATM and one of those like coins for cash machines, but there's no like dollar to quarters exchange. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I go up to the cashier. I'm like, hey, can I? Well, first I asked if they have like a coin machine there, and she points me to the coins to cash machine. I'm like, no, I just need some quarters. And eventually I explain like, hey, I'm trying to wash my clothes, and so at first, I think there's like a manager there and they said like, oh yeah, we don't do that here. But she asked me like, oh, how much are you trying to get? And I just say $4 because that's all I needed. And eventually she gives me the $4, but I felt like that was like a whole ordeal just to wash and dry my clothes. I have no idea if it's working now, but hopefully it will be at some point. Honestly, at first I thought that apartment building that I moved in was going to be like super bougie because they have like this fancy laundry system, and honestly that's the only thing that led me to believe that it was bougie, and the price and the pictures online. But honestly that building is kind of raggedy. I'm not gonna lie.
Any elevator issues lately?
Well, did I tell you when somebody else got stuck in the elevator on my floor?
I think so.
Okay, well, for those who haven't been told that story, I'm minding my business in my apartment. I'm in like my living room and I hear what sounds like a landline phone like ringing, like a, kind of like analog phone. And I wonder what it is. Like, it's not the fire alarm because that one is number one, way louder. And number two, it's like digital and has like a voice, but it's weird because you can barely hear the voice. Anyways, eventually I stick my head out of my apartment and then my neighbor sticks her head out of her apartment. And then my other neighbor like leaves his apartment and we figure out that it's the alarm inside of the elevator and someone is stuck in there. And also, I don't think we talked about this on the podcast, but I myself got stuck in the elevator for about 20 minutes, like in January. So it wasn't as scary as I thought it would be, being stuck in an elevator.
Mm.
I posted about it on Twitter, actually. It's pretty funny to me at the time, but yeah, I really don't want to get stuck in there again. That would really suck. Especially considering I live on the 5th floor, and that's kind of a long way to walk up the stairs. So...
If you get stuck again?
Well, no, not if I get stuck again, but if the elevator's just not working. Because sometimes it's just not working. Also, we have 2 elevators. One of them has been working the entire 6 months that I've been living in that building. So, yeah. At least you don't have to worry about that.
The elevator not working?
Having an elevator at all.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay. How much are you paying for this place?
I
can cut it out. I'm curious. It's $1,100, right? No, it's less than that.
Yeah, my previous place I think was $1,100. This place is just rent. It's like $875.
Really? Well,
or wait, $879 I think.
Yeah, it's a 2-bedroom though. I'm paying $865 for 1-bedroom shoebox on the 5th floor of a building whose elevator only works when it wants to. $865.
$865.
Yes, I'm not paying $65 a month for rent. Could you imagine? Oh my goodness. But yeah, no, it's yeah. And I saw listings online, which made me kind of nervous. But I saw listings online for I guess some unit in there is like $900 to $925, which is making me nervous because what if they're going to raise the rent? Because if they raise the rent, I'm going to have to move out because I can't afford. I can barely afford the rent right now. So. If they raise the price, I'm gonna have to go. But there's a couple of places around here that
we can't raise it like during this current lease period, though, right?
I honestly don't know. I mean, it's not like it's rent controlled or anything like that, so I guess technically they can do what they want. But I don't know, man. Landlords, they're kind of shady, so I wouldn't. I don't trust them too much.
Well, I guess I don't know. I thought like when you sign in like the 2 leases I've signed, I thought like. It's like this is what you're paying month to month for as long as the agreement is. I didn't know they could like raise it.
I mean, yeah, yes they can. Well, okay, so this is a different state, but my dad, who is still living in California, he lived in this one apartment where the rent was like $1,900 for like a studio. But this is also like the Bay Area, so you can't expect much. They were gonna raise it.
Bay Area of what?
California.
Okay.
But they were going to raise it to something wacky, so eventually he left. I don't know at one point in his lease that was, though. But this new apartment that he's living in is rent-controlled, and it's only, I want to say, either $1,100 or $1,200 a month. It's a 1-bedroom, and it's, like, right by Lake Merritt. I know you don't know what that is, but there's this lake. It's called Lake Merritt. It's in the Bay Area. It's really nice. And my dad's rent is stayed at, like, $1,100, which is wacky insane for that area because there's like a newer apartment building across from his, and I think he says like $3,000 a month. So we need to have some kind of rent control system here because this is insane.
So what makes you say that landlords are shady? I'm not disagreeing with you, but I don't have a lot of experience.
Well, neither do I, but just seeing how people were treated during the pandemic when they weren't able to pay, about to get kicked out, and these landlords knew that these people had no way of paying and that they would be really adversely affecting. No one was making
money.
Exactly. And I mean, like nobody was making money though, which would include landlords. I don't know why they thought they were going to be exempt from that for whatever reason.
Don't they make money off of people paying the rent?
Yes, but nobody has money to pay rent. Therefore, they can't make money off of the rent.
People can't pay their rent, and then landlords can't make money. So what's up with that? You know?
Well, I mean, I get that landlords would have to probably pay some kind of mortgage on the properties that they're leasing out, but I don't know, man. I feel like I've seen like screenshots from like landlord Facebook groups, and these people...
Landlord Facebook groups?
Yes, there are landlord Facebook groups. And I've seen screenshots from them, and these people just seem, I don't know, out of touch with the average person. Because if you're a landlord, right, obviously you live somewhere. Maybe you are renting out the property that you live. Well, hold on. You live somewhere. You got to pay mortgage on that one property that you're living on, unless you're like renting out the same property that you are living on. But a lot of these people own like multiple properties.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that's not cheap, is what I'm trying to say. So
you're saying if you're a landlord, you're most likely rich?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it really depends on where you live. Because, like, my family owns not only our house, but the 2 houses, like, directly next door to us. However, that being said...
You calling your parents shady?
I'm not calling them shady. Because
Are they landlords?
Technically speaking, yes.
All right, they're shady.
Well, okay, but...
I've never met them, but I don't know if I want to now.
You've met my mom.
Have I?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
You've at least seen her.
At graduation?
Before that, too.
Shoot, man. I don't remember.
My mom knows you.
Okay. Well, I mean, you could know of someone without having met them.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
I'm also joking for, one of our
2 fans.
Our dearest listeners. I'm joking. Mrs. Aaron's mom.
But yeah, so the thing about that is that, number one, the real estate where my family lives is not that expensive. It's dirt cheap, basically. Mm-hmm. And the house that we live in and the first house that we're like renting out, they bought that as like a package deal from a church. But both of those houses needed a lot of repairs on them. And both of them together were like $75,000, which is very cheap for 2 whole houses. Because, like, all right, the house that we live in is a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. Mm-hmm. It's not big, but it's like wide. It's a lot of square feet is what I'm saying. And also it's got like a big backyard. So it's also like on land, I guess. Mm. And then the other one is like a 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom house. Nope. 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. But that one needed like a lot more repairs on it. So I think that's why they were able to get it so cheap. And then the other house, I'm sorry, Mom, if I'm telling all of our business, but whatever, it's fine. The other house that we bought it. I didn't buy it. They bought it at a foreclosure, and it was only $20,000. So, and that house is bigger than our house.
Is this making the case that your parents aren't shady?
No, it's making the case that it depends on where you live, whether or not you need to be rich to buy real estate.
Okay.
So my parents living in a not very expensive area, it doesn't cost that much to buy stuff.
And if you're not rich, you're not shady.
Okay. Well, you said your parents like owned a house and rented it out at some point.
It's It's because when like we moved from Virginia, and then I don't think we were able to sell the house that we were staying at, and so they were just like, well, let's just like rent it out. Mm-hmm. And I don't really know a whole lot about like their financials, but like the impression I got from my mom was basically that like for them with their limited landlord experiences, they were barely making they were just kind of making some spare change off of it, just with like, I think paying the mortgage or paying like for upkeep and maintenance and stuff like that, where it's like there's so many issues that popped up just with this one property that like they were just kind of making some spare change off of it, and it wasn't really like, I guess it was profitable but barely. And they rented that out for a while until eventually I think like the tenants that were living there for a couple of years, I think they eventually reached like an agreement with my parents to buy it. Yeah. So now it's like, now they own it, I believe. And my parents fully sold it. Okay.
Yeah, the house that, let's see, my parents started renting out our first house. Jeez, I sound so bougie, but whatever. Our parents started renting that one out when I was like a senior in high school, and the same person has lived there like that entire time. And the rent is not that expensive. However, if they had to put a new roof on that house like twice. But it's not like a normal roof though, because it's just like flat. So I don't know.
I think maybe we should move on, because I don't.
Yeah, right.
As soon as you said like I feel so bougie, and then like I don't know why, but I just trailed off, and I was just like, yo, she's like, yeah, the roof is just like flat, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if this is interesting anymore.
Well, all right then. We can move on. So
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day. That is next Monday. I have to work on that day.
We are recording this on the 12th. Saturday. And yes, it will go live after the 14th. Day. But for us, it's impending. Valentine's Day. It's almost here. But I guess I was asking you. I don't know if I entirely. I mean, I'll talk. Maybe I can talk about my plans a little bit. But I was more curious if you had any before this. Before we started recording, and you said no. Tell me about that.
Well, I mean, I wasn't entirely expecting to have Valentine's Day plans by now, but I went on a date. I guess this would be like 2 weeks ago now. Good God, this week went by really fast. Oh my goodness! But yeah, I went on a date last week. It was last Tuesday, something like that. Yeah, I had matched with this. Well, no, he liked me first, and so I continued it.
You thought about it. You said, "Okay, yeah, sure."
Yeah. So we matched on Hinge, which is the app that I saw the other guy on, or
the previous one.
Yeah.
I thought you met the other guy on Bumble.
No. Okay, go on. There's only been 2 dudes, by the way. I don't know why it's so hard to remember this, but yeah. Matched with him on Hinge. We talked for a while. Move on to Snapchat because Hinge is shady and doesn't like to send me notifications all the time.
Yeah, you just calling everyone shady this episode.
Well, it's the shady episode, I guess. But I talked his ear off about music, which was interesting, but he surprisingly still wanted to go on a date with me. So that was on a Sunday, and we went on a date that next month, not Monday, Tuesday. So 2 days later, which is, I don't know, maybe that's fast for some people. I thought it was normal. And so we decide to go to this boba place that is close-ish by. And honestly, I thought the date itself went okay. It wasn't catastrophically bad. But there's
like the one in the previous episode 3.
Yeah. It was nothing like that. But I don't know. I just didn't feel anything, I guess. And I mean,
interesting.
That's fine.
But I guess I thought in our previous episodes you weren't looking to feel anything except those guts.
Well, yes, but also, jeez, now you done throw me off.
She said you called me out. She's like, I actually want a very loving relationship, and
well, I want someone that I don't find annoying. Let me just put it that way.
Oof.
Well, no. Wait, hold on. Let me rephrase that.
He didn't pass the vibe check. It's this guy. He just I had a headache at the end of the date.
Well, no, it wasn't that. It's just okay. So when I first get there, right, we sit down, we get our drinks, we start talking.
The boba.
I got boba. He only got a regular milkshake. But anyways, that's not important.
It's important to me.
Okay.
I want to know what each of you are slurping on.
Well, I got
it helps the image.
Okay. Well, I'll paint a picture for you.
Good.
I got a taro smoothie with tapioca pearls. He got a regular banana smoothie.
Okay, this is too much.
Okay, it's relevant.
Go on.
He told me that he only moved to the area 2 weeks previously to this. He used to live in this other place that I don't even know where it is within Mississippi, but I don't want to tell this guy's business. It doesn't matter. He let's just say he just recently moved to the area.
Okay.
Really soon. And so we start talking, and honestly, it's fine. But at some point, there's a lull in the conversation. I guess both of us just run out of things to say, which I personally don't think is a bad thing. I just think it's a natural part of conversation. You just run out of things to say. So then he starts going I just be straight up with me, I feel like the vibe he was giving off was he was thinking that I wasn't interested, which, I mean, it wasn't necessarily true. I wasn't uninterested,
But maybe it was a self-fulfilling prophecy. He was worried you weren't interested, and then kind of his fear made it come true or something like that, where you're just you know what? Maybe I'm not, you know?
Also, another weird thing is he could not make eye contact with me.
I feel I can make eye contact, but I feel majority of the time when I'm talking, I'm looking to not the eyes.
Yeah, but I feel it's kind of weird though, because he was facing me, but not looking at me.
He's just I guess that's only funny like for us, but
Yeah. Well, I
I was
don't know.
looking like between your eyes. I was like just basically looking at your forehead.
Well, I couldn't even tell. Like, even if he was doing that, because sometimes I find
Did it
myself.
seem like I was looking at your eyes?
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes I find myself looking at people's mouths when they talk.
I'm trying to like look past you now. I don't know.
So, I don't make direct eye contact with people either, but he was more than usual, I would say, not making eye contact with me. And he said it's because, he has like insomnia and had like bags under his eyes, which he didn't. So I honestly don't know. He told me that he was a self-described weeaboo, which to me is not necessarily that bad of a thing because, we all have to have interest. And I don't partake in the anime like I used to as a kid. No Toonami block for me anymore, but I didn't think that was a bad thing. Like, it has the potential to be cringy, but he wasn't cringy about it. He did say, he always wanted to go to Japan, which is typical weeaboo want. So nothing really bad off the bat. But he did say a number of things that led me to believe that he might be an anti-vaxxer, at the very least, skeptical of modern medicine. And I don't know if you know this, but I really dislike people who not necessarily are skeptical of modern medicine, but just like a lot of the tactics that are used to, market quote unquote alternative medicine, especially since it's gotten to like a really bad degree with COVID and everything. Because, before they were just preying on like cancer patients, but now it's like COVID patients, I guess. So yeah, that was a little weird. He didn't say it outright, right? It was just like hints. And then let's see, he was describing what he did for work, which is graphic design. And he started.
I wanted to say he tests body pillows.
No. He was talking about, what was he talking about? Something about, I think Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator, or Photoshop or something like this. And he was like, oh, I don't want to get too complicated on you, as if I didn't know how those things worked. So that it was very minor, but like I felt it. Like I got it.
Do you think maybe he was just trying to brag because like he felt cool?
It wasn't that he was trying to brag. It's just that he didn't think I would understand it because I wasn't familiar with it.
But that he just assumed that, I guess.
Exactly. And I told him that I did work, as a videographer. So videography and graphic design don't really intersect all that much, but I do have experience in like both of those fields, which I didn't mention the graphic design thing, but
I don't know. I mean, you never made me that Shang-Chi poster, so
because I did not have the time.
Do you have a background in graphic design?
Yes, it actually works.
No, she does. I'm still upset about that. Anyway. I gotta make up another funny poster to ask you to make for no reason.
One thing that really got to me, though, was that he was talking about something. He said he was working on a webcomic at some point, or he called it something specific. Not a webcomic. Anyways, he told me he was working on a webcomic at some point, and he mentioned the art program Clip Studio Paint, and he asked me what it was, and I said yes, because I draw a lot, and I'm very immersed into the online art world, and he was, for some reason, super surprised that I even knew what that was. And like,
we matched. Like, there's a reason.
I mean, I guess, but that's not that obscure of a thing, because I feel like Clip Studio Paint is one of the bigger art programs.
It's not obscure if you're in that world, but I've never heard of it.
Well, yeah.
So maybe he just didn't know you were in that world.
I mean, I guess, but I was just really, maybe not off-put, but taken by surprise of his surprise that I knew what it was. So, because that was after he said that. Because I showed him some of my art. Because I like to flex on people. My art's not particularly spectacular, but I have gotten some good reactions when I drop them in the DMs. So
whose DMs?
People.
Oh, like strangers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whenever it comes up in my conversation, because sometimes people on the apps they'll put like whatever art they make on there, and I'm like, oh, you draw? Oh, no, I draw. So I don't know.
I think you do that.
Wait, no, I don't. No, I don't. I don't put my art out there just for people to see, especially not under my real name.
Someone drops their like painting or whatever, and then you're like, boom, look at mine. You're just trash.
Well,
unmatched.
Anyways, him being so utterly surprised that I knew what Clip Studio Paint was a little weird to me. I'm not gonna lie, the vibe was off. And then so I did tell you about this after it happened, but we were at this place for about an hour. So somewhere along the line, one of the workers like leaves, and then they come back because they were at lunch. And they like stop by our table and like, but you guys are still here? Oh my goodness. And I'm not gonna lie, that kind of ruined the mood. Cause like what? Like this place isn't a place where you typically go and spend a lot of time. Usually just like get your drink and then leave. Out. Yeah. So, but I mean, they have tables and stuff there, and it wasn't like super close to closing. So we were allowed to be there. It's just that I guess we were there for a while. We were there for maybe an hour and like 20 minutes total. So no, an hour. We were there for an hour total. And that kind of ruined the mood. But then the same guy, he like goes behind the counter and like yells at us like, are you guys on a date? And I am so annoyed. I just kind of give him the side eye, but the guy that I'm with is like, yeah, we're on a date, whatever. And the guy goes, you did good. She's hot. And I'm like, this is weird. And I bust out laughing because that legit took me by surprise. But I'm not going to lie, that kind of ruined the mood. If you work somewhere and two people are on a date, just mind your business.
Keep it to yourself.
Mind your business.
Talk about it in the back.
Exactly. Because then I won't hear it, and therefore I won't care. But like, oh, I did not like that. It was funny at the time because it came out of nowhere, but I did not like that.
All right, so did you give him your number after the other guy was gone?
No, I did not. Well, you're talking about the...
Yeah, the guy that said you were hot.
No, too annoying. Would not make it. But yeah, eventually we leave because after that I was feeling super uncomfortable and felt like, okay, it's time for us to go.
He's just watching us now.
Yeah, because like there were a few of them working there, and I feel like, okay, the vibes are off. I have to.
You said that a couple of times.
I did, because the vibes progressively got more and more off. So eventually I just, like, all right, well, bye, I guess. And we depart, no hugs, no smooches, and get back to my apartment. And I do message him, like, I had a nice time getting to know you, because I did have a nice time getting to know him, because I like getting to know new people. But that's all I said.
Did he respond?
Yeah, he said something along the lines of, yeah, it was nice meeting you too. So yeah, we haven't messaged since then, so I think the feeling might be mutual.
Interesting.
Well, actually, I don't know, because it did feel like, and I can't fault him for this, but it felt like he didn't have that much confidence, just going off the fact that he was refusing to make eye contact with me and made the remark about how, he'd rather I was straight up with him, just because we stopped talking for like a minute. Not even a minute, like 30 seconds. So, I don't know. I just, the confidence levels were not at the same point. And I don't consider myself to be like a super confident person. But, I am pretty sure of myself. And at my big age of 22, I'd like to think that I don't allow myself to get flustered by boys anymore. So, I don't know. Well.
Seems that's that.
And that's why I don't have plans for Valentine's Day. What about you, Joseph?
My plans?
Yep.
I have to think about that, because I guess they're not...
You don't know yet?
They're not entirely, like, solidified, I guess. It's feel it out. Like, just have a nice day. On
a Monday, when both of you have to work.
We're going to do it Sunday.
Oh, okay. Super Bowl's tomorrow.
Neither of us care. Are you watching it?
Absolutely not.
I mean, like, I'm sort of curious about the ads, but I feel like
they post them like beforehand already, so there's no point in even watching the Super Bowl for them.
And then it's like they tease them. They like hype them up, where it's like, I don't know about you, but I've been getting YouTube ads where it's like, hey, here's a trailer for the Super Bowl ad that's coming up, or like
a trailer for a 30-second ad. Love that.
And like John and I have talked about a couple times of like, yo, you see this movie poster with Arnold Schwarzenegger as Zeus or whatever, and then it's for the Super Bowl, like.
So there's posters for ads now.
Yeah, like,
oh my god,
and it's teasing this like fake movie that's not real, and like, I saw one that I actually did kind of like, where it was like, apparently Dr. Evil is coming back for like a car commercial, which I hate car commercials, but Mike Myers is cool, and Dr. Evil is cool. Anyway, yeah, I feel like I have not been as interested in the ads since like elementary school or middle school, honestly. But I mean, they were kind of all right in the past.
Were they?
I mean, you know, from one stance, you could say like, yeah, you got some funny ones, you got some weird ones.
And then there's the band.
As a middle school boy, there's some that are particularly appealing. That was a joke about like the ones with scantily clad women. As a middle school boy.
Do you remember those GoDaddy commercials? I always thought those were for porn. Yeah. And I was like, why are they showing this on TV if this is for porn? Well, but it isn't.
It's super weird because it's like, I feel like, I don't know if it's ruined their reputation. Like, I don't know how successful they are as a business, but I will always associate that name with like, not necessarily porn, but just those like extremely sexual ads. And now it's like, on YouTube, I get like a normal ad where it's like, hey, you wanna build a website? Like, come to our business, use our platform or whatever. And then I'm like, but remember, like, I don't know, someone being naked on an ad, like their web or their reputation is like completely. That's what I will always associate with them with, and even just the name, just like with like, I guess. Maybe the word daddy being ruined by our generation.
Yeah. And that was weird.
But what else? Valentine's Day. I mean, that was a fun tangent. Yeah. But no, we will not be partaking in the Super Bowl. I will maybe watch an ad or two online, but I guess we'll just be hanging out. I guess right now what we're talking about is every year for the Valentine's days that we've had together, we've watched an unusual movie for the event where it's like I guess, you know, maybe a stereotypical Valentine's Day movies. We'll say The Notebook or some
that's if you're spending Valentine's Day alone, I think. You'd watch a rom-com and then cry and eat ice cream.
Well, I don't know. I feel like most people like to watch like a romantic movie or like a Pixar movie or something. Something that's just like, oh, we love each other and let's magnify this feeling by watching something like pleasant. That's my assumption. I guess like I don't know. We'd have to talk to other people, find out if they watch movies on Valentine's Day and what they watch. Specifically, people in a relationship. Anyway, our first Valentine's, this was back in 2020. We went to go see Sonic the Hedgehog in theaters.
I remember that. Wait, hold on. I feel like... Okay, no. Never mind.
Well, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, I feel like I know I called you in the middle of a date one time, but I don't think that was on Valentine's Day.
I wouldn't answer if I was in a movie theater, most likely.
But I did call you in the middle of a date one time. I remember because I wrote it down in my journal.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You said this freaking guy won't even answer my freaking calls.
Well, no, you did answer.
Well, okay.
And you said, oh, actually, no, because I think I asked to hang out, and you were like, actually, I'm on a date. I was like, oh, no, this is in 2019, and I think you have like just started dating. So
me and Melissa were?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is why it was noteworthy enough to put in my journal.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, interesting. You said, who's this?
Well, I think I knew who she was at that point.
Yeah.
No, I did know who she was. Yeah. So I just didn't expect to like catch you in the middle of something.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, we saw Sonic the Hedgehog our first Valentine's, and like I don't know if I'm proud of that because I don't know if you know this, Aaron, but I'm not like other girls.
I feel like you said this every episode at this point.
Really?
I think so.
Well, I mean, I guess like I say it partially ironically, but I do like
think that you're not like other girls because you're a man?
No. That's not the joke. I mean,
Okay.
It's half the joke because it's like, yes, I am a man. No, it's making fun of people that say that, but also acknowledging that I am someone that says that.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess actually kind of means it because like I like being like different, you know? Anyway, so I feel like most couples did not go see Sonic the Hedgehog to celebrate Valentine's Day, but we had a good time. And
last year
we watched The Witch.
for Valentine's
Yeah.
Day. Wait, no, you told me that. I remember, like, what on earth?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, instead of watching something pleasant or uplifting or romantic, it's like, let's watch this
Terrible Christian horror movie.
I mean, it's not Christian. I mean, it's about
based
Christians.
around religion.
Okay, but it's
So-
not like made by a Christian. I feel like if
No.
anything, it has like a semi-anti-Christian stance, but
Sort of.
semi.
It's Christian horror, which
Yeah.
means, I feel like that just means it's horror based around Christianity, like, I don't know, Christian mythology, stuff like that. So like The Exorcist, The Witch. There's more, but I can't think of them.
Anyway, that was a good time as well.
The Nun.
I mean, that's not a
Maud.
good example of The Nun. I feel like Saint Maud's probably a good example, which I
Saint Maud
haven't
wasn't that
seen.
good.
Oh,
It
okay.
was just all right.
Well,
But, you know, based in religion.
anyway, this year, I don't know if I've told you this, but basically I recently was looking at the movies playing in our area because, like, man, January and
Stinky.
February, the look on your face when you said that was funny.
They're not very good months for movies.
Yeah.
January and February.
But like it was particularly like barren, just not a lot coming out these past 2 months. And so I was just kind of looking randomly and I was really excited because it was like, yo, like they're playing the Kanye documentary, which we didn't see, but it was kind of cool that it's in Mississippi.
I think that's supposed to be like because it says it's a trilogy, so it's supposed to be like a 3-parter.
I think it's 4.5 hours, 1.5 hours each.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, yo, they're playing the Kanye documentary. Yo, they're playing like Jackass is out. Yo, they're playing Licorice Pizza, which I thought was
Stinky.
Okay, you just don't like the trailer.
I think it's stinky. You thought it was fine.
You just don't like the trailer. You haven't seen it.
Well, I can already tell it's not. I'm not going to be very impressed.
You haven't seen it.
Listen, if trailers tell me anything.
Look,
then-
you thought Marriage Story was bad, so
I thought it was bad the first time I watched it. The second time I thought it was fine.
All right. Well, Aaron,
And I didn't think it was bad. I just didn't get the hype. I didn't know why it got nominated for an Oscar.
It's really good. It's a
Okay.
really good movie.
Well, maybe I just haven't been divorced enough.
Okay.
I'm not the
Moving
target
on.
audience
Aaron,
for
this
it.
is my turn to speak now.
All right.
Anyway, I was excited for Licorice Pizza because looks like my kind of movie. Didn't think it was going to play in Mississippi. And then here it is, boom, out of nowhere.
Was it not in theaters when it came out?
Yes.
It was.
It wasn't.
Okay.
Not in Mississippi.
Interesting.
It was supposed to come out around Christmas.
Right. That's true.
And then it didn't. So now it is. And that's great. So I was very excited for a bunch of movies coming soon, as well as the upcoming Uncharted movie, which stinky, most likely.
Well, if you're a fan of the game, probably. If you're not, then it's probably still stinky, but, you know, not that stinky.
I think
It's like a fart in another room, not a turd under your nose.
not right in your... Wait, who is it?
What?
For which audience is it a fart in another room?
People who aren't fans of the game.
Okay, but if you're a fan of the game, then it's a turd right under your nose.
Yes.
I don't know. I like a turd's a turd. There's no way around it. Even if it's in another room, like that's still gonna waft.
I guess.
But Anyway, I'm just excited for movies to finally be coming out. But there was one that I was like, yo, this one might be able to top the previous two movies, unusual movies that we watched, the previous two Valentine's Days, those being Sonic the Hedgehog and The Witch. And it's playing in Cinemark. It's playing for one day on the 13th because, you know, Valentine's Day isn't on Monday, unfortunately.
Yes.
And it's labeled as a Galentine's Day special.
What is it?
And this movie that I think we've kind of settled on, if that's one of the things we're doing on Valentine's Day, is we're going to see Magic Mike.
Oh my god. Well, all right. I feel like that's a movie specifically for women in their 50s, but, you know, my mom liked it, so she is a woman in her 50s. Actually, yeah, no, she did like it.
I mean, it came out a couple of years ago. She might not have been in her 50s the time. Oh. I don't know.
Sorry
if I
to
know
set
how.
you out like that, Mom, but you are well into your 50s by now.
Aaron, you didn't tell me your mom's old.
My mom's not old, number one. Okay, 50 is middle-aged. Are you going to apologize?
Yes, I'm sorry, but only because you're one of our two listeners. Well, see, so anyway, that's one of the things we're doing for Valentine's Day. And I feel like that'll be fun. Like, that's a decent movie. It can be a little bit depressing, but
Magic Mike?
have you seen it?
No.
Okay, the reason, so I watched it.
Why? How is it depressing?
Well, it's kind of, this is somewhat of a spoiler.
Okay.
Somewhat of a general spoiler for the story, but...
All right, if you haven't seen Magic Mike, which came out in, 2013, now's your chance to leave. Yeah,
I guess, like, I think I would ultimately recommend the movie. And so, if you don't want Magic Mike spoilers, skip to this timestamp. No, I'm joking. Anyway... So you haven't seen it?
No.
I assumed you have, I think purely because you're a female. I don't know. Like, a lot of people like...
Well, okay. I feel like it's for older women. People who would typically
Melissa
be patrons of a male strip club.
Well, Melissa saw it, like... As far as I know, a lot of females that I know have seen it because, like, it came out when they were in, like, middle school or high school, and they're like, "Ooh, let's watch this R-rated movie." Like, oh my god, we're so bad. Like, you know, when you're not old enough to watch this R-rated movie.
Yeah, your teenage girl impression. Ooh, let's be bad.
I feel like
continue.
Anyway, I guess I assumed you'd seen it just purely because you were a female.
No.
But I know females that are not in their 50s that have seen it.
Well, right. They'll be in their 50s at some point, though, so...
That doesn't count.
Whatever.
Get off my back. Anyway, I wanted to watch it. Start around, like, college time. I was just like, I want to watch this movie because I'm not like other girls.
Okay.
Because I guess it makes me sound... A leaf just hit my window aggressively.
Oh, gosh, okay.
I'm pretty sure it was a leaf, but I can't believe it hit with such oomph and vigor. Anyway, I'm not like other girls, and I, wanting to be unique and different, I wanted to go around telling people, like, yo, I've seen Magic Mike as a straight male, and also tell them, like, yeah, it's pretty good. And then most people, I guess most fellow straight males would probably then ask me, like, oh, was this, like, a bet you lost, a dare? And it's like, no, I just wanted to watch it. Like, anyway, I think that makes me sound unique and special.
Okay. I just want to know how it's depressing.
Okay. Sorry. I'm explaining the lore of why I watched it.
Okay.
I also watched it because I had heard it was a good movie. So it is... So the trailers are deceptive because all of it, like, the trailers are like, yo, like, Channing Tatum, he's hot. Matthew McConaughey, hot. Like, we got all these other hot actors, and, like, they're going to be a little naked in this movie. And, like, ooh, like, that's exciting. But the movie is actually more just, like, kind of a dive into that world of, like, being a male stripper and stuff like that. And you kind of, like, I guess it's exploring just, like, the drug use and kind of the insecurity and kind of, like, the... Not necessarily saying that it's bad, but just maybe the roads that it can lead down of just kind of having a bad life. And it's not necessarily critiquing it. It's just kind of showing the reality of, like, this is what a lot of like male strippers' lives are like, and it's kind of sad because it's like, oh, one of them becomes a drug addict, one of them like I don't know, has issues. That's so vague, but
What?
No, it was vague because I couldn't think of anything, but it's just kind of showing some of the issues they have of like gambling addiction, drug addiction, and depression and stuff like that. And so it is kind of more of a somber movie than the trailers would let on.
They have a live show though.
What does?
Magic Mike.
A
Channing
live show?
Tatum's obviously not in it, but they have like a live, I'm assuming it's like a strip show. They call it the Magic Mike like live show or whatever.
Oh.
So
I don't think any of the actors are in it. I feel like
No.
they're just capitalizing on the
Yes.
success of the movie.
Mhm.
But something else is like the two I watched like two YouTube reviewers that I'm pretty decent fan of both Jeremy Johns and Chris Stuckman. I don't know if you've watched any of their content, but I like it. And I think before I watched it, I watched their old reviews for the movie, and both of them were like, I guess both of them were like, yo, I'm not gay, but like I like this movie. It's a good movie. And I was like, yo, I like movies. I'm not gay. This sounds like a perfect movie for me. And something they really talked about was like they watched it with they both watched the movie with a movie theater full of females, and like females? And then it's what?
Females.
Women.
Yes.
Like
Gosh. We talked about this.
I'm not allowed to say the word female.
No, you're not.
Okay.
Not in my presence.
Female.
Stop that.
You slap me?
Yes.
Anyway. Wait, why am I not allowed to say female?
Because it's weird. You don't say males.
Males. I'm a male.
Okay. Okay, you get what I mean though.
No, I don't.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so
move on.
Theater full of females, as
Women,
well as
Joseph.
as well as some males that were dragged along by their girlfriends or wives
their
or whatever.
female spouses.
Yes. But basically what they noticed as they all got out of that movie is like most of the guys were like, yo, that was a pretty good movie. And most of the females were like, not enough booty. Like, that movie was kind of sad. I just wanted to see like Channing Tatum twerk. Like, and I got a little bit of that, but like not enough,
Yeah.
I think
Channing Tatum said he like actually used to be a stripper or
Yes.
something like that.
Yeah. He had a history of it. I think he was an executive producer on the movie, and it was partially based on his life before he was an actor.
Interesting.
So it's like
just like Cardi B, but
it's somewhat based on
different.
a true story, but it's not necessarily based on like his story. It's just based on his general experiences in the industry. But anyway, I guess I thought it was pretty good. A little sad, like, yeah. And I guess what I had heard from other males was that generally, like, when they watched it, these two YouTubers that I mentioned, is that they liked it more than they thought they would, and the females in the audience liked it less than they thought they would. And so, anyway, so I don't know. You could check it out if you want.
I don't know what it's streaming on.
HBO Max, I think.
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like 2 or 3 of them.
There's 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Donald Glover's in the second one.
Really? Does he get naked?
I don't know.
Okay.
Let's find out. Donald Glover naked. But anyway, what else was I going to say? Let's talk about Magic Mike. Let's talk about Valentine's Day. I guess that's one thing we're doing on Valentine's Day.
Okay.
And then like maybe play some games, probably go out to dinner, Yeah.
And I will be not doing anything. I'll be editing this podcast tomorrow, probably. Well, I would hope so. I can't do it during the week.
We'll be ignoring the Super Bowl because we're not like other girls.
Exactly.
What is it? Do you know anything about I guess how much are you into like personality things, like tests or like Myers-Briggs or anything?
I'm not super into them. I do know that they've sort of been kind of called pseudoscience, but they are fun. So
Well, it's not necessarily, I don't know if it's
just that I think
pseudoscience.
the main argument that people make is that you can't fit everyone into like 16 categories or however many it is, which is why, that's why.
Well,
it makes sense, but it's still fun.
I think it's a criticism, but I think there is like maybe some validity to it.
Maybe. It's kind of like
it's not like law. You know what I mean? It's not just like
some people treat it like it is. I don't know.
I think most people don't. I feel like if most people are treating it like
most
law,
people don't. Some people do.
Okay. Well, I guess I feel like the people that do are probably either immature or young.
Weird.
I was going to say young and immature.
Okay.
But no,
yeah, people always put their Myers-Briggs in like their social media bios and also on the apps. I've taken the test a couple of times. Mm-hmm. Have you?
Yeah, I mean, we had to, I think, for some of our like classes in school.
I did not.
No, you didn't?
No.
Did you take, what is it? Did you take like Belhaven Basics or Mosaic or anything?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
Because
How?
I think technically since I'd done dual enrollment in school and I like transferred some credits over, I was technically considered a transfer student, which is why I didn't.
Oh. Well, I mean, I did dual enrollment too, but it's like, it's generally supposed to be required for all freshmen. It's like the Kingdom Life for the beginning of your stay at Belhaven.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, I think we had to take it for that class.
I guess my diploma is about to be revoked.
Yeah. You've lost diploma privileges.
Oh, no. I didn't take it.
The reason I was asking is because there's one that I have a slight interest in called the Enneagram.
I feel like you're saying that wrong.
I think it's like the Enneagram. I think that's right. I think I say like Enneagram when I think it's like Enneagram.
It starts with me.
Yeah.
Let me look it up.
I think I'm saying it better the second time. I don't know. I just have my accent.
This stupid keyboard like goes off in the middle of me doing things.
Go off, queen.
Shut up.
Wow, don't be so rude. Hey, you're mad at the keyboard, not me. Okay. We'll start wiggling this table.
Please don't.
Destroying the audio.
Yeah, it's Enneagram.
Okay. Well, I think I said it better the second time. So
I thought it was just Enneagram, but then again, I can't read, so.
I know it's at least Enneagram, but I think I say it like with an A for some reason.
Mm-hmm. You've asked me about the Enneagram like several times. Yeah. I feel like this
Have you seen Green Room?
Oh my god. No, I still haven't seen Green Room.
We really should watch it. I love that movie.
Yeah, so you can stop asking me.
Yeah. I'll still ask you after that just for the bit. It's like, yo, have you ever seen Green Room more than once? No, I think I've asked you about it because anyway, that's something I've learned about a little bit over the past, like, let's say my college time, my time in college. And honestly, it may like, I don't want this comment to like sound wrong, but I feel like it seems like it might be like a white people thing or like just a thing that like white people are more into than others. But
this is not an incorrect assumption to make.
I feel like maybe it's just like astrology where I feel like there are way more like white girls into that than any other females.
Yeah.
But anyway, that being said, no, I just asked you about it because like I make the comment of like I'm not like other girls, and
is that one of the categories?
Yeah, no. Well, sort of. That's actually why I bring it up.
Okay,
is because so that is the Enneagram is like a personality thing, and I don't know a whole lot about it, but what I do know is I do kind of like it, and I think I don't know what Myers-Briggs is based on. I guess it's based on like the 4 categories of like introverted, extroverted, thinking, feeling, judging, perceiving, and one other one. This one is actually more based on your personality is based on your like trauma in your life a little bit.
Jeez. Okay.
And like
how long is it?
Huh?
How long is it?
Well, see, the thing is I think like you can do. So
there's only like 9 types though.
Well, there's more variety than you think. We can watch a video about this later if you want. We'll see.
So there's 7 steps and each step has.
I don't know what that noise was.
Okay. It almost sounded like my building's fire alarm, which is why I got scared.
I heard it again.
Yeah.
Well, I guess while you're doing that, So the way people told me about it is like you can either like pay to take like the real test, or you can take these like free tests all over the. Well, see, the thing is that like from what I've also heard is that I don't know about the paid test, but like the free ones, they're also like kind of very inaccurate. So like the way to kind of find out what you are is just to kind of read about it and read about the categories. And usually the way you determine like which one you are like is the one you relate to the most, but you kind of read all of them and you probably will be able to relate to all of them. But usually the one that like is most likely you is the one you read and you're like, ooh, I might start crying. Like that hit real close to home. And the one that I believe I am, because it's like numbers, there's 1 through 9. And I believe the number that I am is 4, which like
is individualist.
Okay. And so like that's why I say like the not like other girls, because it's like when I first learned about it and basically what number 4 was, I was like, oh, that's the one that's not like other girls. And because it's the main like factor of that one is wanting to be like different from other people and having a unique personality and just kind of what is it? I guess being different from others and just, I don't know, kind of finding yourself in that. And so like I do relate to that a lot. And that's why I kind of like half ironically and half unironically say the statement that I've said way too many times on this episode.
Yeah. I think we should take the test. You already have your like thing, but I...
Well, see, you may... Well, what I'm saying is that like, I guess we can do that. But what is it? I know like, I think in one day I took like 2 or 3 different tests and I got a different number each time.
Okay.
So it's like, that's why most people recommend they're like, you should read about like, just kind of like take like 30 minutes, read all 9 paragraphs or whatever. And then whichever one makes you feel like crying is probably you.
Okay. I think it'd be fun though for the pod.
For this one?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna get my phone. So I think we should just do the first.
The first one that pops up?
Oh, yes. It's on truity.com. Not sponsored, by the way, but if you do want to throw some coins our way, do it as a tax-deductible donation because I don't feel like... I'm not going to say that.
This one says it's an ad. I guess is that good?
It's fine. It's just they paid to be at the top of the list. IRS, please disregard that last comment.
Isn't this one the paid one? No, it's not.
No, because there's...
Interesting.
So shall we begin?
Okay.
Attention Kmart shoppers, we did take the Enneagram test on the podcast, but it took us almost 40 minutes, so I cut it out at the risk of having a 2-hour podcast. If you want to listen to it, let us know on the comments of the YouTube video or on our social media, and if there is enough request for it, I can put it on YouTube as a separate clip. But aside from that, here are our results. What are my results? I am... Oh, what is this?
It's pay.
Oh my god. Do we just... Okay, hold on.
Dang it, Arin, you screwed us. We did this whole thing and now we have to pay for the results. They got us.
Okay. It does have a graph, right? Our graphs look different.
Our graphs look the exact same. Wait, no, they don't. Okay.
Yeah, okay. So I think my biggest chunk is 7.
My biggest chunk, I think, is 4.
Okay, which is what you said before. I think my second biggest chunk is 5. No. 5 or 2.
Oh, it does tell you what yours is. It does at the top, but it only gives you the first paragraph.
Okay, well.
So.
I am a 7, apparently. 7s are defined by their desire to experience everything good and pleasurable that the world has to offer, while avoiding pain, boredom, and limitations. I just sound like a hedonist. My God. Although 7s appear enthusiastic and fun-loving, deep down they have a fear of getting stuck in negative emotions, and that's as much as I can read. Okay,
mine is... I got 4, and then mine is... like I said, I told you we shouldn't do a test. Now we can pay $20.
I gotta look up more about 7s.
Okay, so 4s are defined by their belief that they are different from other people and by their feelings of envy for what others have. 4s have the sense that something is missing from their lives, and they worry that they will never have the happiness that other people experience. And then at their core, 4s feel they are...
All right, so here's what I found on the Enneagram Institute. 7s are the enthusiast, the busy variety-seeking type, spontaneous, versatile... acquisitive and scattered? Okay. The 7 embrace. 7s are extroverted, optimistic, versatile, and spontaneous. Okay. Playful, high-spirited, and practical. They can also misapply their many talents, becoming overextended, scattered, and undisciplined. Wow, drag me. They constantly seek new and exciting experiences, but can become distracted and exhausted by staying on the go. They typically have problems with impatience and impulsiveness. At their best, they focus on their talents and worthwhile goals, becoming appreciative, joyous, and satisfied. Basic fear is of being deprived and in pain. The basic desire is to be satisfied and content and to have their needs fulfilled. Let's see, Enneagram 7 with a 6 wing.
So that's where it's like, there we can watch a video afterwards kind of explaining this, but that's where there's more variety than that, because it's not just 9 personalities. It's like there are also like there's kind of like 4s can also, like, you can be a 4, but then within that category you can also lean more towards like a 5 or a 3 kind of within your 4, and those are the wings, I think.
Okay.
And so what is it? The video that I watched that I thought explained it really well talks about how, like, on the surface it seems like there's 9, but in actuality there's like 25 or something like that.
Interesting. So let's see. My Enneagram 7 with a 6 wing is the entertainer, and my Enneagram 7 with an 8 wing is the realist. My key motivations are to maintain my freedom and happiness. This is true. And to avoid missing out on worthwhile experiences, also somewhat true, and to keep themselves excited and occupied, also true. I do have a lot of hobbies, I feel like, and to avoid and discharge pain. So, meaning of the arrows, let's see, when moving in their direction of disintegration, which is stress, scattered 7s suddenly become perfectionistic and critical at 1. I don't know what any of this means. However, when moving in their direction of integration with its growth, gluttonous scattered 7s become more focused and fascinated by life, like healthy 5s. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so there's like a lot more that I'm not going to read. But here's some notable type 7s. The 14th Dalai Lama, which I believe is the current one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the current one. Galileo, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, Thomas Jefferson, the slave owner, Benjamin Franklin. He did own slaves.
Well, I was more excited about Amadeus because you like that movie so much.
I do like the movie. I like it a lot. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like I relate more to Salieri than Mozart, you know? Mm. So, Thomas Jefferson, the slave owner, Benjamin Franklin, Amelia Earhart, who is dead, Richard Feynman, Wassily
Amelia,
Kandinsky.
you tell me everyone on this list, Amelia Earhart's the only one that's dead?
Well, you know, she's notably dead. I don't know. Okay, JFK, Joe Biden, Sarah Palin, who is this? Richard Branson, Ted Turner, the Unabomber. Hold on, who's Ted Turner?
I thought Ted.
Wait, that's Ted Kaczynski.
Yeah.
No, he's he made CNN.
Also, yeah. I guess I want to point out that I think that whole test might have been like a scam and a waste of time, because to get our results, it was $20.
Yes.
The actual legit Enneagram test cost $12.
Wow.
Like the official one.
Yeah. Let's see. Malcolm Forbes, Susie Orman.
Now you're on like the Enneagram Institute website, right?
Yes. Okay. Leonard Bernstein. He made Hallelujah, right? Wait, did he? He made Hallelujah.
Who, the song?
Yes.
Oh.
Did he make this?
Yo, number 9 is John Cena.
Really?
Here, look. The joke is that number 9 is the peacemaker.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Chuck Berry, Elton John, Mick Jagger, Fergalicious Fergie, Miley Cyrus, Britney Spears, Katy Perry, Russell Brand, Sacha Baron Cohen, Cohen, Steven Spielberg, Fred Astaire, John Belushi, Joan Rivers, Bette Midler, Goldie Hawn, George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Robin Williams, Jim Carrey, Mike Myers, Bruce Willis, Robert Downey Jr., James Franco, Leonardo DiCaprio, Charlie Sheen, Cameron Diaz, Paris Hilton, David Duchovny, who I don't think he still has a sex addiction, but he used to.
Wasn't he in a TV show about having sex addiction?
Yes, that's what made it ironic.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's like Edward Norton and Birdman.
Larry King, Howard Stern, Simon Cowell. Interesting. That might be cap. I don't know. I don't want to spread lies on David Duchovny, so I'm gonna look that up.
You're just like, I watched a show and I thought it was real, and it's like, you're telling me Bryan Cranston isn't a meth kingpin?
No, he definitely had it.
Okay.
Let's see. David Duchovny's sex disorder likened to alcoholism. This is from 2008. He has addressed rumors of his sex addiction. This is also in 2008. Yeah. So this was like around 2008-ish. So yes, David Duchovny either currently has or used to have an addiction to the sex. Which is honestly unfortunate. That's not good. Like any other addiction. How do you feel about that test? Other than it being a scam?
Well, I guess I did tell us. Hopefully, it makes for a decent episode. But I did say, like, you're not supposed to take the test. You're supposed to read, which isn't as fun as taking a test.
That's true.
But we're in the middle of recording a podcast, and I guess taking a test is better than reading in silence.
I could read out loud, though.
Maybe, yeah. But we'd have to. I don't know. We could have done that, maybe, but I don't know.
Well, it's been almost 2 hours now.
I guess I am glad that I got what I thought I got, but
that you're not like other girls.
If now, like, you know, if now you're intrigued by it and want to read about it, then I'll be like, oh, that's pretty cool, you know. So
why do you think you're not like other girls? Will say, what's at the root of that?
Well, it's. I think it's probably. This may be difficult. This may be more difficult to answer than you think.
Okay.
Because like the point of the Enneagram, at least how I've heard it described, is it is based on like, it's not your personality is shaped necessarily by nature or nurture. It's partially based on like the trauma you've experienced kind of growing up.
I thought it was based mostly on self-perception, not really trauma. I didn't get that. I don't know.
From the Enneagram?
Well, at least from the test that we took.
Well, like I said, I don't know if that test was great.
Yeah.
No, so for me, I guess I haven't spent a lot of time thinking about this, but I think like off the top of my head, I guess genuinely in like, let's say middle school through, or elementary through, we'll say high school, I think I was kind of like labeled as like weird or awkward, and like especially in like, we'll say like elementary and middle school, like I felt like I was very much kind of like bullied for certain things. And so I think that's partially the trauma. And then I think eventually it became like maybe just thinking like that I've been given that identity, so maybe I'll just embrace it and try to like make myself like as weird as possible, which like I guess within reason. I don't want to be like a creep, but at the same time I want to be like a straight guy that likes Magic Mike, or like I don't know, like just things that strike me as unusual, like I don't know, like Doki Doki Literature Club. Like I know that's very popular, but like you watch that and it looks like a hentai visual novel, and then it's like a horror. And so I'm intrigued by things like that. And so I think just trying to have maybe unusual tastes, or trying to have niche interests maybe. And like I feel like most people, I feel like definitely would not watch Pink Flamingos. And I'm like, for me, and kind of like my identity as like part of my identity being like heavily into film, wanting to make film, but also like know as much about film as possible. I'm like, yeah, I will watch Pink Flamingos, even though I hear it's horrible. Which honestly, now that I've seen Jackass, I feel like Pink Flamingos
Probably not that bad.
Not as bad as I think, which like it's still bad, but like I guess spoilers for the new Jackass. Watching a dude just straight up down a glass of pig cum is really not as that bad compared to like Divine eating what she eats like dog poop in like a pie or something, or just
is it a pie? I think she just straight up eat it.
Yeah, so like it's not that far. I feel like watching Jackass really made it seem like Pickle Flamingos isn't that bad, but it's still rough. And so yeah, I don't know. I think just kind of, I don't know, I guess just being bullied and feeling like an outsider and like an outcast. I think maybe just now that I've been older, it's like wanting to embrace that and like just kind of make it a main part of like my identity while joking about it and being like, did you know I'm not like other girls? But then also genuinely meaning it every time I'm saying it, because I do want to be, I guess, not like other people, you know?
Well, what I'll say about that is I think I felt a lot like you growing up, that, you know, I was maybe looked down upon for some of my interests, especially, I don't know, for me, music was a big thing because growing up, you know, especially like middle, high school, you know, people were listening to either top 40 hits or like rap or something like that, but I was into like metalcore. And I could not find a single person. I found one person who listened to some of the same music that I did. And that was it throughout my entire like high school time that I was there. But I feel like being online as much as I have been, it's really hard to be like unique. Like, I think all that's to say is that even if you do feel like you're, I don't know, maybe different, which, by the way, being different isn't a bad thing for those listening. But even if you do feel like you have like niche interests, there's always like a pretty big group of people that also have that interest. Like, I don't know. I'll just say furries, you know, that is, I don't want to say it's objectively weird because that's a little mean, but it is a little odd to be a furry. However, there are lots of them and they can find each other and make each other feel not that weird. And as I've grown up, I've realized that I am not that unique or different, not in like a bad way, but honestly, that's comforting to me to feel that I am really, in reality, just like everyone else. So, because, you know, I was also made to feel like being different was like a bad thing. But the reality is that I'm not different. I'm just like everyone else. So that's how I see it.
I think, well, I guess, did you read, when you were reading your number, did you, what is it? Did you read The Basic Fear?
I think it was stress.
Okay.
Which is, I'll say, true for me.
Well, see, so the thing is like, so this is going back to like, I think how the Enneagram works.
Yeah, basic fear is of being deprived and in pain. So stress, I guess. So
being it like this personality thing, being rooted in like trauma and kind of like I don't remember which number, but one of them is like all about avoiding pain. And I think that's like,
that might be mine.
No. That's like, I think it's like number 3 or something. But like, so usually like how you identify yourself is also like one of your maybe biggest like insecurities or something like that. And so like for number 4, it's like the basic fear is that they have no identity or personal significance. So it's kind of like, I'm wanting to assert my uniqueness so much because it's like, I'm worried I'm boring or normal or like people just don't like me or something. And you know what I mean? I feel like being unique makes me maybe more likable, you know? What is it? And I guess it says basic desire is like to find themselves and their significance to create an identity. And so I guess I can relate to that, but it is sort of like, there is still sort of the thing where like, this is where the reading comes into play because you can probably read all 9 numbers, which would take a little bit, but you can read all 9 numbers and relate to all of them. But like what I've always been told is really like, whichever one, like you read it and you're just like, oh, like you're like, it's like describing your life like to a T, or like really affects you, where like, oh geez, like that kind of hurts, or someone put it into words and something like that. Yeah, that usually is like the one that you are, you know.
Interesting. Maybe I will have to read about it
if you're interested
at a later date.
Yeah, there's some interesting stuff too. I guess I feel like I may want to watch the video after we're done with this, just because I really like the video. But it may be a bit too long. But
how long is it? 8 minutes?
Maybe 20.
Oh, goodness.
Goodness.
Well,
do we have anything else? I guess
we've been going for 2 hours.
Yeah, I know. Well, we did spend like 30 minutes or so just like accurate, inaccurate.
Well, yeah, I still think it'll be fine. But yeah, I mean, I did have other stuff, but we have been going for a bit.
Did you relate to yours a little bit?
Honestly, yes and no. Because, like, I don't know if I would describe myself as, like, spontaneous. That doesn't feel... Or versatile. I feel like I'm, like, kind of stubborn and don't like being spontaneous. I like to have a plan.
Well, see, that could... I guess, I don't know. I guess it's really up to you kind of, like, identifying yourself and, like, which personality fits you best. But it could be... Like, I think the part of the personality is based in your insecurity. You know what I mean? So it's like, I want to be different because I feel like I'm not. And so, like, I guess...
Maybe that's just for you.
Well, I was just going to say, like, you're saying... Now, you can feel this way, but you're saying you're not very versatile. But then at the same time...
But I also don't want to be versatile.
Okay. Well, I was just going to say, like... Well, okay, I guess that's important. I was just going to say that, like...
Well,
I view you as very versatile, where it's like, oh, she has like editing skills, like is a YouTuber, like knows how to use Photoshop and all these different programs.
So like those three things you just listed are very interconnected.
Not entirely.
I mean, it feels like it to me.
I mean, they are, but it's still like...
I mean, it's not like
It's things I don't know how to do, and I'm impressed that you know how to do all of them. You know what I mean? Where I may know how to do one of them a little bit.
That's true, but I feel like a lot of the things that I know how to do aren't particularly difficult. I feel like if you use even the least amount of effort...
well...
Not you specifically, but just people in general... Like, you could learn how to edit.
I feel like I was trying to give you a compliment, sort of. And I feel like you shot it down.
Well, okay. I will accept the compliment, but those three things are a little interconnected. Like, I don't know. I feel like all of the things that I know how to do are very creativity-based. So...
I don't think that means
I feel like
anything.
I just feel like they're the same. Like, they translate, right? I don't have any skills that... don't translate to each other.
But writing is creativity based and drawing is creativity based, but they're still completely different skills.
This is true.
So I think you have, like, you may not, like, I guess this isn't an insult. It's still a compliment, but you may not be the best at everything. And I'm not thinking of anything specific, but like, you may not be the best at everything, but you still seem to be like, decent enough in a lot of different areas, and I don't think most people can say that.
I guess, I don't know, it just doesn't feel that profound to me, I guess I'll say.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, I'm trying to give a compliment, and I'm just, I guess, also...
Yeah, I know, but...
Are you tearing up?
No.
Okay. Your eyes looked a little wet.
No. I'm just, I don't know, it just feels like the things that I know how to do aren't like that spectacular.
Okay. Well, we're just going in circles now.
Yeah, that's true. Well, this has been the Not Just Arin podcast. Would you like to do the outro?
This episode is brought to you by Arin's tears, which she will shed later in private.
I'll shed them later when watching Dune because of how beautiful it is. Yep. You can follow us on our Twitter and Instagram, where we share things about things occasionally. Both are at Not Just Arin Pod. If you want to discuss all things Not Just Arin on social media, you can use the hashtag NJAPod. Haven't really seen anybody using it, but it would be nice to see some people using it so I can look through it and like some tweets and Instagram posts. Just saying.
You want to be passive aggressive to our audience?
Well, no.
Start tweeting, or else. Sorry.
We are on all major podcast platforms: YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Google, Anchor as well, and that's about it. Also, I tweeted about this on the Not Just Arin account. But if you want to send us an audio message, you can do that through anchor.fm. It's just on our page, anchor.fm/not-just-Arin. And you can find a link to send us audio messages. I don't know what we're going to do with them, but if you would like to send them, we will listen to them. Maybe not on the podcast, but they will be listened to. And I would greatly appreciate that. I think that would be fun. So yeah, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts because we need nice reviews so that more people will listen to our podcast. And also, to address the elephant in the room, I know our podcast does not sound the best. The quality is not quite there yet, but we are working on changing that. It just takes time, okay? So soon you will be
robbing a Radio Shack soon.
Yes, we'll be committing grand larceny, and then after that, once we get out of federal prison, you can hear our silky smooth voices directly in your ears in a much better quality. So yeah, that's about it. I really need to pee. I've been holding it for I don't know how long.
Let's keep the podcast going. We'll bring the mic.
No.